vegan Doc Martens. I have done 2 videos on these already, and based on their overwhelming success, I think the first one has 2,000 something views now, the second one has over 1,000 now, and nothing else that I try to make has come close to that yet. So here we are again with the final thrilling conclusion to that. I bought these vegan 1460 model vegan Doc Martens back in, I want to say, October. I got them off of Amazon. I ended up paying about $70 for them, I think. These are, I believe, size 12 US men. Is that, I think that's what that stands for. Size 12 US. Got a great deal on them. I know they go for well over 100 sometimes. And yeah, I've had them long enough. I'm hoping this can be a definitive guide to the vegan Doc Martens, and I will share my experiences with you now. First of all, I remember getting them and being pleasantly surprised that they fit pretty good and didn't feel like they needed to be worn in, as I've seen many people complaining about online, that how it takes a long time to wear it in, and until then they're very uncomfortable. I initially did not get that. I thought they just felt pretty good. Maybe I just got lucky with the size. I don't know. But I really wanted to make these a replacement for my other boots that I wore to work every day for years and years. I know there's a whole style culture around Doc Martens, and so people don't want to get them messed up. But for me, from reading the reviews, I felt like they could be used as work boots and stand up to the challenge. And I got a great deal on them, so I figured let's give it a shot. So I had worn them a few times, and I was still like afraid of getting them messed up from scratches or smudges, or I just didn't want to get any like gashes in it or anything like that. And I read that you can get things to polish it and help it last longer and be less likely to get scratched and more waterproof. So in the second video, I showed the Doc Martens brand black polish, and also described that I kind of rubbed it down with basically like a very small amount of petroleum jelly to help try and seal these things up. Whether I needed to or not, I just went for it. I thought it would just help it kind of last longer, maybe it would soften it. So I do occasionally try to clean these with a little bit of polish just to get little marks off and things, hopefully before they kind of get stuck on there or whatever. But in that video, I also showed the premium sole insert. I don't remember the exact name, but they're in there now, kind of the, you know, the inserts. I just got the like most premium, I think it was called premium, just kind of like the most cushiony, I guess, and best performing ones, Doc Martens brand. And I was pretty devastated to find that after I put them in, the shoes did not fit as good. Like, they got really tight around here. I explained that in the video a little bit, but it was kind of worse than I realized at that time. All around here is very tight. I would like take my boots off and have red marks on my feet right here. And it was a little tight over here too, but not anything too crazy. And I didn't want to get rid of the inserts, insoles, because I mean they were nice and I wanted to wear these every day, so I wanted to have like a lot of support in them. So I figured I hadn't worn them much at that point, so maybe they do need to wear in a little bit. And so I will explain some of the things that I did now to kind of help them stretch out, wear in a little bit more. What I started doing was I would wear a pair of like longer socks, and before I put the boots on, I would also put on another pair over it of like fuzzier socks, or just take some other smaller socks and turn them inside out and wear them just as an extra layer so I didn't get blisters around the tight spots. And it helped a little bit, but I could still feel it like crunching down on my toes. So after doing that for a few days, and I kind of wore it like I would wear them like every other day or so, because I was afraid that if I wore them every day that I would start getting a blister or something like that. So I got the idea to take a regular soda can and I put it in like a long tube sock, and it was the perfect size, at least for this size, to wedge it in there, and it kind of propped up right here, like that's where it kind of wedged in and stopped. The reason I put it in the sock was because once you wedge it in there, it would be hard to get out, I assumed, so you could just grab on the edge of the sock and pull it out a little bit better. So I left both of them like that for a few days, and that did help a little bit, especially right around here where they're starting to kill my feet. And right after that, I also really tried to rub this whole top part down with the polish to really get a nice finish on it. Looks nice and clean. And after the soda can technique, I decided not to wear the 2 layers of socks because they did fit a little better now. And it was slightly a little uncomfortable here for another day or two, and then I guess they finally, after wearing them to work, full days of work enough times, they really started loosening up a little bit more. You can see there's like the big crease here, which is normal, I'm sure. At a certain point, they get all adjusted to the shape of your foot, so it softened up in a lot of places finally, especially right around here, which is what I needed. And you can see right where my ankle kind of bends, it does all that now, but it still looks good in my opinion. There you go. I use this a lot. I was afraid I would just rip it off by how hard I would have to pull to get the boots on, but in softening, they did get much easier to put on and take off. Maybe that's just from me using it enough times too that I got used to how to do it. But yeah, this thing pretty sturdy. I mean, I wouldn't want to test the limits of it, but when you're trying to really yank these on, I just kind of open it like that, put my foot in, pull it, and they're pretty easy to get on and off nowadays. So yeah, you can check out my original video where I unboxed them for the first time, gave them a try, showed them off a little bit. My second video where I bought the polish, the insoles, and kind of described the fit of them a little more. I'm very happy with these. They look great still. They didn't kind of fold up in weird places or anything like that. There's no tears. The only little kind of blemish, I don't even know if it'll show up, on the tip of the toe, I must have, I don't know, stepped on the toe of it with my other foot or something like that. It kind of pulled up a little bit and left a little wrinkle. I don't know if that was there from the beginning, but it's hardly noticeable, especially when I like polish it. And I expect this to happen anyway with me wearing them to work pretty much every day. I knew these were going to get abused in many ways, and I was prepared for it, especially since I got them for such a good deal on Amazon. And yeah, the insoles, I guess, have worn in more. They're more comfortable to wear. I don't feel them squeezing on my feet throughout the day. I could wear them all day, and I do. So check out my other videos on the vegan Doc Martens. Give me a subscribe, comment with any questions, and I'll try to help out the best I can. Very happy with these. Great purchase. Thanks.